three, and I'm kind of worried about that. He's already won that so far. And then Barbara says 25. I'm saying 26 degrees today. We have plenty of day to go yet. Now, I got to apologise. I know I'm a little bit late, but, well, we got caught up talking to Tim Steinrach and, of course, Bob Wagner out of the band, The Mighty One, coming out of Canada. And what a pleasure it is to catch up. Those guys released a brand spanking new song. Yeah, Torch. Yeah, believe me, Torch of Rock and Roll. It's a great song too. So if you get a chance, go and have a look on all the platforms, everything like that. You are bound to find it. You will not, it's an excellent song. Check it out. It really is. Right now, let me do this.
Galaxy 107 FM.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and today we're absolutely laying it down. Yes, we are. We're looking at The Midnight Train, the album, The Midnight Train. Unfortunately, we don't have enough time to be able to play each and every song, but we are going to be playing a good portion of them. We're joined by Ryan Neville, coming out of Christchurch, a good buddy of ours here at Galaxy. Let's kick it off. Heartbeats, All Alone, right here at Galaxy. And we're off.
Nice.
Dear. By the way, I love the hat, my bro.
Thank you. It's I've got 3 of them just in case, because I always forgetting where I put the damn thing.
I have the same the same problem. I really do. I take a hat off, put it down. Where did I leave my hat? Yeah.
Or even worse, I'm like, where's the thing? And I've still got it on my head.
Yeah, believe me, I do that with glasses.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can never find them.
Can never find my glasses. Yeah.
It's not, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I'm ahead of myself.
Hey everyone, thank you for joining us.
So yeah, it was a lot of fun doing the Yorks World thing, wasn't it? But I didn't expect it to be like, it was 4 hours or something?
Something like that. It was a long day, I've got to be honest with you. We're actually doing another one this weekend.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh, is that the rock one?
Yeah.
Rock.
Yeah, we've got Viking Queen, the Mighty One, whom I was just talking to prior to you guys, or prior to you. We've also got Steve Lynch.
Oh, very nice.
And he's the cover boy on Indie Magazine this time around.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
That's great. Oh, boy, am I going to give him stick about that. Bloody cover boy, how's that?
That's nice. Interesting.
Yeah.
So, what was the original band that he was in?
Autograph.
That was it. That was the one, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, Turn Up the Radio.
That was that big hit, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. They signed to RCA, if you remember, way back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a wee while back, wasn't it? That's for sure.
But I'm looking forward to his new stuff. He's got a band called Blue Neptune coming out.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And have they been around for long, or was it really new?
It's really new. It really is. So I'm excited about that. Anthony Ligori is joining us. Nice to have you on board, my friend. Anthony is like Elvis. He has very interesting style of music. Love his style. I really do. And in fact, he has a Memphis song with Elvis Central Time. And it's getting a huge following here at Galaxy. So welcome, Anthony. It's nice to have you.
Awesome.
Ryan Nicholas is joining us, and Augusto Steed is joining us as well. So we're getting a few online. It's really pleasurable to have you guys joining us. In fact, for everybody that's joining us this morning, welcome to Galaxy again. It is a nice day, and we are having today Ryan Neville coming out of Christchurch, a good friend of ours. Now check this out. I want to let you know something as well. If you're going to watch this a little later on YouTube, you know what to do, right? You do. Sub thumb bell. Bell because it gives you notifications when we have important people like Ryan Neville. Yes, our blues king here at Galaxy. Believe me, you're going to love this. Let's go to the desk, Ryan. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and today I'm absolutely elated. I really am, because good friend to Galaxy, Ryan Neville, is joining us, and just secretively, I'll let you into a little, something about me, is blues is my thing. I love the blues, especially when it's done by a master, much like Ryan Neville. Such control over that guitar. Good morning, Ryan. Welcome back to Galaxy.
Thank you very much, Grant. It's always a pleasure catching up with you guys. We always have quite a bit of fun, so thank you for having me.
It is an absolute pleasure, my friend, and believe me, I've got to congratulate you for being Man of the Hour last month, not only on Indie Magazine, but York's World as well. What a great show that was.
Yes, it was, wasn't it? It was a lot of fun catching up with everyone there as well, and yeah, it was really good. I mean, York was fantastic, and lots of good questions and things like that, and great meeting everyone else that was online is also answering questions. So yeah, it was a lot of fun that day for sure.
Now, we started the show with Heartbeats All Alone. Tell me a little bit about this, because believe me, the guitaring alone gets me. Yep, it's right there. I love the guitaring on this, but tell me about the lyrics.
Thank you for saying that. Well, I also had a great story. I could make something up, because that's very much how that kind of came about. It's one of those songs, it's always difficult, or for me, to write something that's a ballad, that's kind of personal. So what I tend to do is not necessarily write it about myself or anyone around me. It's just basically taking an idea. So, it's just that whole ballad, and it's that whole sad sob story of being on your own, that typical breakup thing that, yes, we've heard many times before. And I think there's a skill in that, of trying to create that same idea but not copy everyone else, because there's a billion songs written about heartbreak, as we know. But, so yeah, I was just kind of trying that side of my songwriting. So unfortunately not an amazing story, but that's just kind of a made-up ballad.
Well, I got to be honest with you, I absolutely love it. I really do. I mentioned about the guitaring in there. Absolutely superb, my friend. It really is. And I'm very envious. If I could play a guitar like you, I'd be rich. I really would. But having said that, we do have a fan question. Of course, I've asked you this in the past, Ryan, but are you on Facebook? Are you on Twitter? Are you on Instagram? But more importantly, Ryan, do you respond?
Yes, certainly do. It's always something that I'm online a little more than what I should, because it's my phone and iPad are almost physically attached to me. So I certainly am more than happy to talk to people. It's something I love doing, and it's a huge part of songwriting and being in a band. I mean, the whole idea is to entertain. So yeah, look, I love talking to people. So yes, Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube. I haven't quite got into the other social media sides of things. I'm just too busy with the other ones. But please do chat to me. I love talking to people, for sure.
Now, how do we get your music? Do you have a website? Can we download it from your website, or do we have to go to the usual suspects like Spotify and iTunes, places like that?
Yes, I've been very fortunate that my record label has plastered to be all over the digital stores. But yes, we have our website, ryannevilleshowband.co.nz. So we have the album on there. But yes, it's on Deezer. I think it's about 15 digital platforms these days, from Spotify to iTunes, etc. But ryannevilleshowband.co.nz is a great place to catch up and chat with me.
Very cool. Now tell me about I Got the Blues.
I got the blues. Well, it's funny, because you'll notice also that we have still got the blues on there, and I kind of didn't really realise that the similar name, but I got the blues is that fun idea of that it's inside you. It's like we talk about rock and roll being in the hips and things like that. So of course the blues was all about, and some people have mentioned that in a lot of times people look at the blues as being sad, right? It's not always need to be sad. It's about everything. It's a feeling. It's an expression. So I got the blues is just about having a great day. So it's not necessarily a sad blues. It's a happy, I've just got it in my system. I'm listening to music. So I tried to portray that. That's why musically it's bright and happy, and yeah. So hopefully that comes across to everyone.
You're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, joined live by Ryan Neville coming out of Christchurch. I Got the Blues. Oh man, I love blues.
It's good style, isn't it?
It is.
It's a mixture of everything, isn't it? They always say it's the easiest style in the world to play, but the hardest to feel, and I kind of think that's very true, isn't it?
Oh, hell yes, hell yes. But yet again, a wise man once said, you know, blues is just a good man feeling bad.
Ah, haven't heard that before. That's awesome. That's pretty good. It's really good.
Yeah, believe me. You should watch the movie Crossroads.
Oh, was it in there?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good movie.
I've seen that movie many times, but I haven't come across that line. Yeah, it's a good movie, isn't it?
It is a great movie, and yeah, I stole it from the
And
movie.
we met someone from that band.
That's a good saying.
Exactly. I tell you what, I was talking to a guy just the other day. He was the lead guitarist for Muddy Waters.
No, really?
Yeah, believe me, he's worked with people like Ed and James. He was recording in Chess Records with Muddy.
Imagine that.
History. He says, you know something, Grant? Out of all of those guys back then, I'm the only one still alive.
Oh, that's sad, isn't it?
Well, he's quite happy about it, actually. He's still kicking.
True, that's a good point. Yeah, that must be amazing to be able to still tell those stories, and you know, and that's why we really appreciate these people and hope they do books and all that kind of thing. It'd be great to kind of, you know, hear about what went on, eh? Exactly.
And you know something, I've got a lot of respect for him. I really, really do. But you know, when he started telling the stories, it was like, yeah, please give me some of that history. I want to know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, imagine being there. I mean, just sitting in on the people and watching, even standing on the street and watching people go in and out of that place. You know?
Exactly. I mean, that place was responsible for Rolling Stones.
Yeah, that's right.
Chuck Berry, Howling Wolf, all those went through there. Of course, Etta James and Muddy Waters. The whole, you know, gambit of that era went through Chess Records. Len Chess was an absolute genius. Originally, it used to be a nightclub. He opened it up as a nightclub and thought, this isn't going to work, and went and wanted to record coloured music, quote for quote, you know. And look what happened. He made history.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. And we were talking about Len and everything he put into it as well, you know what I mean? And great guy. He was a visionary, but everybody says, of course, let's not take into account, way back in the 60s, that was not the thing for a white guy to be doing. You know what I mean?
Good point.
So, thank God he did.
Good.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. Absolute pleasure to have everybody along today. We are talking to what I think is a master at the game coming out of Christchurch. Ryan Neville is joining us. Got to say hi to Tina Bushuskus. Sorry if I get the name wrong.
Tina.
I'm sorry?
Yeah.
Yep, got it. Well, okay, I gave it a good shot anyway. Nick Svab is joining us as well. Thank you very, very much for joining us. Absolute pleasure, because believe me, nothing better than talking to a Kiwi for a change. Believe me, we talk to so many Canadians, so many Americans, Australians, Englishmen, not enough Kiwis. And today I'm really, really happy to be able to catch up with our good friend, yes, Ryan Neville, coming out of Christchurch. Now, Ryan, right now, I see the inventory for the tour that you're doing right now. I haven't seen anything for the North Island. Are you coming up the north anytime soon?
Yes, we're hoping to. We're looking at coming up to plenty blues festival coming up in a couple of months' time. So we're going to have fingers crossed that that's going to go ahead. It's just unfortunate, as we all know, with this whole legal change, it's very difficult to kind of stamp anything down at the moment, but we certainly are trying to get up to the North Island as soon as possible. So we'd like to be up there in the next couple of months, yeah.
Well, we want to come up and see you as well when you're on tour. Maybe, we might be lucky enough to be able to take in your curtain raiser. I think you've got 660 or something curtain raising for you.
That would be wonderful, yes. Lines, of course. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, believe me, I'd like to be able to see that one too, to be very honest with you. But believe me, they're looking at about 100 plus of their concert.
They've done it incredibly well. I mean, they just had a couple of concerts down in in Christchurch, and of course, yeah, it's amazing the crowd that they draw us for sure. So yeah, putting us with them would be great. Let's make that happen.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that's a great idea. We'll have to keep them away from any balconies though, won't we?
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah, we don't want any more incidents with any balconies with 660. We really, really don't. But Ryan, we would be very, very honoured if we could catch up with you live up here in the North Island. We would absolutely, well, we better catch up after you do your performance. Let's put it that way.
We've talked about that, haven't we? We've talked many times about that, and it hasn't actually happened. I mean, every time we go to do it, we go into a different level and things like that. But yeah, look, I promise I'd love to come up and see you guys for sure. It'd be great to catch up.
It really, really would. Now, I played I Got the Blues, and you mentioned that Still Got the Blues. Tell me a little bit about Still Got the Blues. Why have you still got the blues?
Why have I still got the blues? It's one that we've had in our set for about 4 years. It's just a very requested song. To me, it's in my top 5 at least of blues ballads. The guitar playing is one of those songs that if you do it, you have to do it well, and I'm hoping that I did it well. It is one of those songs that's a really tough one to nail that feeling and emotion. So it's kind of like, a lot of people have asked me to record that one, and I've always kind of shied away thinking, So this time I went, hey, let's just give this a whirl, put my spin on it of a classic song. So it was time. That was probably the best way of explaining it. Time to release it.
Well, I got to be honest with you, you're getting quite a few requests for it. We play you consistently on a Tuesday night in the Blues Show, and another number of other shows that we have here at Galaxy as well, and it's getting a response. It really is. So you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. Thank you for joining us with Ryan Neville. Ryan, I've been thinking of too much beer, to be honest. Ryan Neville is joining us live, coming out of Christchurch. Here he is with Still Got the Blues. Too much like Gary Moore, bro.
Good. Good. As I said, I mean, if you're doing his song, you have to make sure you do it bloody well. That's the thing. So
Exactly.
the nerves when I went in that day to record it, it's like, yeah, it's just, it feels right, that song.
You pulled it off, bro. You really did. And
Thanks for saying that.
when I first heard it in production, I went, Jesus, shit, he sounds so close. I've heard some people actually, they've destroyed it in the past, to be honest.
Yeah, look, there's not many people that have actually recorded it as such, but I have seen a few live performances that, yeah. But, and saying that, everyone's got their own version of it,
It's down to interpretation, isn't it, bro?
Well said, yeah. That's true.
Sometimes
Speaking about Chess Records, I've just finished watching the show on Muscle Shoals. Have you seen that at all?
No, I haven't.
I'll send you up the link. It's on YouTube. It's very, very good. So
Awesome.
Similar thing again about all the bands that went through there.
Awesome, please do, because I'm always interested in stuff like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It helps me get educated.
I'm the same, yeah.
It does, and then you never know when you're going to use them. I mean, good God, when I'm working mainstream radio maybe about 20 years ago, never once did I ever think that I'd talk to somebody like the lead guitarist from Muddy Waters, you know what I mean?
Well, I can imagine, yeah.
And or Steve Lynch coming out of I'm sitting there going, nah, I'll play the music. I'm good with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Never once. But since I've been doing these interviews, I'm talking to people like, and believe me, I've got legends in the game, Dale and Gail Hammond from the Hammond Brothers coming on Monday, next Monday.
No. Yeah, that's fantastic, isn't it? The stories again that those guys could tell, eh?
Oh mate, I'll send you an ad that they did for us.
Yeah, do.
Apparently I drink moonshine.
That was funny though. It was
That's
really
some dangerous
funny.
stuff.
That
Every time I go to Texas, we get forced to drink moonshine.
Believe me, I've got some, in fact, there's a lady that comes out of North Carolina. She's a 10-time Josie Award winner. Her name is Michelle Lee. She sent me this.
Oh, how fantastic.
Right.
Oh, it's awesome.
Even signed it on the back.
Oh, mate, that's fantastic.
Full of Appalachian natural water.
I see. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Yep, exactly. Now, she did a song, I don't know whether you're familiar with the man's name. She did a song for the widow of Popcorn Sutton. Now, he's a legendary moonshiner. He's one of the badasses of the day that, you know, the cops really wanted to get hold of and everything. In the end, he actually committed suicide rather than go to jail. Says,
No way.
I'm not going to do that, you know, bug ears, and he committed suicide. But he is still a legend in the game. Now, she was commissioned by the widow to do a song emulating Popcorn. She did that. She wasn't happy with it. She did another song. But in the meantime, of course, she's got all these contacts. And I says to her, well, send me some. And that's what she did, right?
Brilliant.
When I received it, I says, I won't have it until New Year's Eve when we do our New Year's Eve show. Michelle will be along. But in the meantime, she had won her 10th Josie Award.
No, 10th.
Yeah, 10th. She's a legend in the game now, you know what I mean? Coming out of Bollywood, or Dollywood, sorry. And we had her on for an interview. Now, she is the queen of country music here at Galaxy.
Cool. That's amazing, isn't it?
And I thought, well, you know, it's an appropriate time to celebrate.
Yeah.
I don't know any 10-time winners of anything, let alone Josie Awards. So I'm bringing this out. Now, she also sent me a shot glass.
How perfect is that?
Yeah, and to accompany it, you know, absolutely. Cool. And so therefore, I'm filling it up, and she goes, I'll just go and get my husband to go and get it out of the freezer. And I went, oh. And she goes, what do you mean, oh? And I says, well, she goes, oh, no, it's got to be cold.
Ah.
Really?
I know that.
Oh, no. And she goes, well, just sip it. And I went, sorry, sweetie, I'm a Kiwi.
Yeah, that's right. That's how it's done. Down the hatch.
It came out like
Man,
a
was I
lobster.
ever history.
Like a
Ooh,
lobster.
let's go back to the desk, right? You know, Ryan, I have heard so many different people do so many different versions of that, and I got to agree, it does come down to interpretation, but I think you have the ultimate interpretation of it right there. That's fantastic.
Thank you, Grant. That's always nice to hear. It's it's always a challenge to cover such a stunning song. As I said earlier, it was a bit nerve-wracking to even think of the idea, to like actually go ahead with it. So I'm very pleased how it actually came out at the end of the day. Yeah. Now,
where did you get it recorded? Do you have your own recording studio, or did you go to recording studios?
No. Very fortunate here that I've always had a very keen interest in the whole recording side of things, and it's much easier to kind of I've designed my studio around my needs, so I've been fortunate to be able to record from home and have a lot of good equipment that I need. So
Well, I think you've done a superb job. Believe me, I've been in recording studios for almost 40 years in my career, and to be honest with you, Ryan, I can't fault your work at all. I really, really can't. In fact, I'm kind of jealous. I should have done that myself back in the day. You know what I mean?
Excellent. No, thank you for mentioning that, because it's hard enough to write and then produce and then do that, but it's fortunate that I really love. I'm at heart, I'm a bit of a gear freak, so I like to collect old vintage channels and Neve stuff and all the rest of it. So it's something that I really, really like doing. So it's a bonus.
Well, I got to be honest with you though. In this day of technology, I'm still back in the day myself a little bit. I like Bell stuff, to be honest with you. It gives it that different kind of fatness that, digital just doesn't recreate.
Yeah. Hey, look, it's very, very true. And as those out there who record, you'll know that because digital's so clean, we even have effects now, or plugins we call them, to add hiss and hum back into the recording. I mean, how crazy is that? Just to give it hiss and hum we consider as warmth, right? So tubes or valves is the way to go to give that three-dimensional sound for sure.
Exactly, and at the same time, I remember the days of records where, at the end of the record you get that... They put that in songs these days.
Funny, isn't it? Yeah, and do you remember tape? I was very lucky to be brought up in the era of, or as you taught, I should say, and having to splice tape together when everything was recorded on reel-to-reel, so
yeah.
Vintage.
Believe me... Excuse me. Believe me, bro. I remember the days of recording on DAT.
Oh, yes, good point. Good
Yeah.
point. The formats have changed a lot. I mean, CDs. I mean, people are even asking, what is a CD these days?
Yeah, coasters apparently.
That is true. They're a good size, perfect size, aren't they?
Yeah, I tell you what, we used to make mobiles out of them, keep the kids happy in the crib, you know what I mean?
Good idea.
Yeah.
Nice and shiny.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
great for summertime. The sun glinting off them keeps the kids happy for hours, At the same time, you're guaranteed not to get flies or butterflies over the crib.
Good point. Good point. And, so they had, well, they still do, they can be used for many things. And if you're bored, can be used for a frisbee, absolutely.
Yep, exactly. I'm sorry to say that I used to mutilate CDs back in the day. Oh, scary. Some of those CDs actually would be worth a bit of money these days. Yeah.
Well, I always laugh in the point they used to tell us that you cannot scratch them. They're just, you cannot break them. Well, I think that was a slight lie.
Oh, it was a total lie. Now, here's something you may or may not know. Back in the day, I actually invented a machine that will take a scratch CD. It's made up of 18 layers, would you believe, a CD, and it goes down to a little metal thing that holds all the information on it. The rest of it literally has nothing to do with it, really. But if you scratched it, and believe me, I would take a CD, scratch it like hell, put it in this machine, it would shave off right down to the deepest part of it, then relayer it again, come out, you've got a brand spanking new CD. I invented a machine that would do that.
Wow, that's very impressive. Yeah, that would solve a lot of problems when given the CD skip. Absolutely, that's a great idea.
Well, the government wanted to get behind it and actually wanted me to go overseas, literally set up big warehouses, building multiples of these things to be able to capably take care of business data on CDs and stuff like that was getting destroyed and lost because of, accidental scratches that shouldn't be there in the first place. And believe me, almost took them up on it. And believe me, they were spending money my way more than you would ever want to know about. They were offering it left, right and centre. The God's honest truth was I got scared and pulled out.
Right.
I did. It was just too much success, too much, too quick. I'm a DJ, and all I did was I found a way of being able to repair my own CDs. That's what it was about in the first place.
Yeah, that's right.
One guy who was a guy who worked for WINS back in the day, teaching people on business training.
Right.
He saw the concept of it and went, holy hell, Grant, do you know what you've got there? I went, no, I wouldn't have a clue, but I do know that I've got something that fixes my CDs.
Yeah, that's right. That's why you made it. That makes sense, doesn't it?
He says to me, can you make a prototype of it? And I went, absolutely. So I made a prototype and showed him. even made one where it was all the casings, everything, you could see it working, how it worked and everything like that, all on the outside. You could look right through and have everything working perfectly fine. He took that to a government. The government wanted it instantly. They could see a marketable machine here for them to make money, get, container loads. They wanted container loads of this stuff coming to us on an hour-by-hour basis. Can you fix them? You know what I mean? From all around the world. The only thing they wanted was for us to go overseas and do it basically in China.
Yeah, of course.
And bugger that. I'm sorry. I don't mind being tall, but I don't want to be that tall.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, we're all beautiful over there. We all look the same. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm typically the guy that would stand out there. In fact, believe me, I'd be the one going to all the parties going, where's the boogie woogie fever? Tell me about boogie woogie fever, bro.
Boogie Woogie Fever. All right, so again, a nice kind of danceable, and it's a style of music as we know, and of course, it's something that we don't really hear that often. To me, it's a catchy phrase, but it's kind of you hear the word, and in my mind, it makes you want to dance. So that was kind of really the idea behind it. So saying I've got that Boogie Woogie Fever, that can relate to many things. That can be I've got this feeling, I'm expressing that way. So it was just a bit of fun on what I consider a really cool word. Yeah.
You know, my friend, this is your second most requested song off your new album, Midnight Train. And believe me, everybody is loving it. Here's Ryan Neville live, coming out of Christchurch with Boogie Woogie Fever.
Ever wondered why, when you're feeling high, why you can't sit still?
Oh, God, it's hot in here.
Hot, you lucky things. We're sitting on, I don't know what it is, but it feels like about 10, and you guys are hot, you lucky thing.
22 degrees here.
Oh, I'm freezing.
For the Americans and for everybody that does it by Fahrenheit, inside here in this office, 89.4 degrees Fahrenheit. But yet again, we're Kiwis, and Brian will understand this. It's called Open the Bloody Window.
It's the way to check. Absolutely. It works every time.
That's our air conditioning here at the office, bro.
Works a treat.
Yeah, it does. None of this American stuff where you have a machine give you cold air.
Yes. I'm very intrigued to hear about the CD thing, Grant.
Oh, yeah, believe me, bro. It must have been about 30 years ago. I just got sick, because being a mobile DJ back in the day as well, I used to get a lot of damage from my CDs, and I looked at it and figured out how many layers of this resin makes up for a CD, and got a laser cutter to be able to just shave it off and gnat's foreskin every time until it registered that there was absolutely no blemishes. And then it would layer it back with a new layer, because we had these little plastic sheets that would come in and laminate the bloody thing back up again. Cut it to size perfectly, bang, and you could put it weighted, because they have a weight. If they're off weight, they flop it.
Right.
Right, so it was all weighted perfectly, everything like that. Put it straight back in. You had to little cool down for about half an hour or so.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yep, and then you could put it straight back in your CD player. Nothing wrong with it.
That's fantastic. I remember the video stores used to have them. So you'd walk in with your disc, and within a couple of minutes or something, it would shave it off.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, absolutely. But you do realise that if you've got a buffer and a bit of something to keep you like a bit of wax, candle wax or something like that, put it on your buffer, you can actually put your CD on your buffer and take it down a level or two and take out those scratches, you'll be fine.
Great.
Yeah.
It's a good little hack, isn't it?
It is. Believe me, as I said, I used to be a mobile DJ many years, and the amount of damage my CDs used to cop was phenomenal. So I needed to find ways of keeping them usable.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that would get expensive to have to buy a CD all the time, wouldn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So believe me, I'm kind of an ingenuity kind of guy. You know, look at a problem and say, how can I fix it? You know what I mean?
Very handy, yeah.
And then I'll find, if I can't find something to fix it, I'll build something.
Perfect.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and I'm absolutely elated not only to be talking to a fellow Kiwi and a Kiwi artist at that, but also a good friend of Galaxy's. Yes, Ryan Neville is joining us, coming out of Christchurch, and of course we were discussing the cardboard church beforehand. Believe me, it's not cardboard. It really isn't. I don't know where they came up with that. Even Ryan stumped with that one. He really is. Can't find very little cardboard, and if he did, you'd probably find my signature on it anyway. I'm that kind of guy. Graffiti the place. Yeah, Grant was here. I used to send postcards when I was overseas to my brothers going, wish you were her. Yeah, believe me, I used to go out and try and find ones with women on it. You know what I mean? And go, yeah, wish you were her. Believe me, they used to get very upset with me. But my brother said not so long ago, actually, that he's still got a lot of the correspondence I sent to him from when I was overseas. He says, you know, going through a lot of this stuff, Jesus, you went to a lot of places and talked a lot of crap, didn't you? Yeah, believe me, had those kind of times, it really did. Now, Ryan, you named your album Midnight Train. Why did you name it that?
Right, well, a combination of things, I guess, because midnight to me, I'm a night owl, so I kind of like the evening. I always joke with people, as you've heard me say before, about the fact within the blues, it seems to me that there's only kind of limited amount of things you can talk about. So, you know, a train's one. So you'll notice a few of my songs do have some sort of a train in there. So I thought train, midnight, put the two together, and of course that whole graphic of how a train would look at nighttime with the moon shining. So I tend to be able to picture a lot of these things. So a lot of my songs are written based on a picture I have in my head, almost a movie playing. So the graphic, to be honest, kind of is where that came from. Yeah.
Now, at the same time, you are undergoing and foregoing right now a New Zealand tour. Now, basically, predominantly, I've seen your itinerary for the South Island, and looking forward to seeing you up here in the North Island. But what should people look out for? What is the Ryan Neville tour called?
Okay, so we are the Black Magic tour, which is kind of, I purposely named it that because it kind of brings up a lot of things. So I've had people go, oh, it sounds a bit dark. Because again, for some strange reason, we always tied it into black magic in the voodoo sense and things like that. No, you know, to me, it's a fun thing. It's supposed to be that whole black magic. It can be card tricks. It can be hiding something. It can be something interesting to come and see. You know, and who knows? Maybe on stage we do a wee bit of black magic or voodoo. So, you know, you'd have to come to a show and check out exactly what the reason for naming it the Black Magic Tour.
That excites me. It really does, Ryan, because it kind of, that's a bit of me, to be honest. It took me straight to New Orleans. As soon as you said that, to be honest, went right there. I've got to let you know, had a young lady out of New Orleans send me a voodoo doll not so long ago.
Ah, very interesting. Yes.
Yeah, I gave it to Barbara.
Yeah, those are very dangerous things. So you get them, pass them off, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
So when I was in New Orleans, of course, that was another reason for it, because I always found that whole voodoo culture, myth, whatever you like to call it, and of course, you know, there is a voodoo religion, that it was very interesting because it conjured up lots of different kind of things. And it's not necessarily dark. You know, if you research voodoo, it's actually not as nasty as as movies portray it. Let's put it like that.
Yeah, well, you know, if it wasn't for Hollywood, well, you know, things would be very boring and normal, really, wouldn't it? She was a white witch, I got to be honest with you. She was very open about it. She did send me a voodoo doll. I thought it was rather dangerous in my hand, so I donated it to Barbara because she has a doll collection. Dolls scare the hell out of me, to be honest. I hate them. Yeah. But I don't want anything that could possibly harm someone. I don't hate anybody, you know what I mean? So no reason to bring any pins anywhere near that object. I'll give it to Barbara instead. And one day I'm sure I'm going to get from somewhere.
When you start to twitch, you know you've upset Barbara.
Yeah, exactly. Get on the phone and start apologising quickly. Believe me, I get it. And Mary, Robber's cousin is on board right now. Robber being the lead guitarist out of the band Viking Queen, and Mary coming out of Norway. Nice to have you with us, Mary.
The Netherlands.
Netherlands. Yep. Okay. Fair enough. Roundabout kind of way, anyway. But believe me, it is very, very nice to have you with us, and everybody else that's joining us this morning. Thank you very, very much for joining us, because believe me, we have come to the pinnacle of this, and it is fantastic because it's the most requested song off the self-titled album, Midnight Train. Tell us about the lyrics of Midnight Train.
Midnight Train. So first of all, we started a tour last weekend. I'd just like to kind of do a backstory to this. And so we had performed it at the Jazz and Blues Festival. We were fortunate enough to have 4 shows in 3 days. It was 12 hours of playing, so we're all still a little bit jaded. But the beautiful thing was we were able to release that song for the first time. So we were able to perform that song live. So Midnight Train was that romantic story of coming home to your partner, and on that train, so you're speeding home. And again, as I said before, it's that whole, I can almost create a movie around, in my mind, around that whole concept of I'm doing everything I can to get home to you as quick as possible. I've been alone on my own for far too long, and I miss you. So trying to be as romantic as I can with a story of travelling home on a train.
1,467 people have been requesting it. They wanted to know everything about it, who, what, when, where, how, and why, because we have been playing it, we just didn't say anything, you know what I mean? Leave it to the imagination, put the toe in the water. This one went through the roof right here at Galaxy. Is Ryan Neville's Midnight Train. People love this, my bro.
Oh, good. Thanks, mate. And again, as I always say, thank you so much for playing it for me. It always means a lot that you guys have been putting it on air for me.
Ryan, it is an absolute pleasure, my bro. It really, really is. And, well, we don't play crap here.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear.
We only play the good stuff. We really do. And you're right in there, my bro. And believe me, we get people from all around the world that want to know a lot about your music. You know what I'm saying?
And that's cool, because I've always been, and still am, like we said before, I love watching those shows that explain the music and things like that, because it's, you want to get to me with music I listen to, you want to get as close to it as possible. Where was it recorded? When did you do it? Why did you do it? What instruments were you using? I think that's a really good way to really get in close to the song.
Exactly. Exactly that, my bro. It really, really is. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot more time left over. But we will do a couple of things after we finish this up. You know what we do. We do a couple of photos and bits and pieces.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks. That's cool.
As always, my bro, we are going to have to catch up and have a beer.
Oh, we've said it so many times, it's just getting silly, isn't it? So we will, absolutely.
Believe me, I've been rejected by your dates as many times as my wife's rejected me.
Thanks.
And she goes,
So when a stranger knocks on his door and goes, "Here's a beer from Grant," it'll be my brother.
oh yeah, apparently her brother's going to send you a beer. She's going to send your brother down to see you.
Perfect.
Oh dear, that's funny. It really
Hey,
is.
I've been watching a lot of the other shows that you've been doing, and it's been great, as you said before. The amount of people that you guys are getting through has been very impressive, isn't it?
Bro, we're a bloody machine right now.
up
Barbara
till
is the slave driver of all slave drivers, I tell
Middle
you.
of May we're booked up till.
He's done very well.
We're booked up all the way through May.
Yeah, that's phenomenal, isn't it? It's really good.
And you know something? Not one of them is shit music, bro. Only the good stuff. And, you know,
Yeah, always good to hear.
there is so much talent out there, and you're right in there. Right in there.
Thanks, mate. That's awesome, Grant.
Almost 1,500 requests for this midnight train.
Wow, that's
Phenomenal.
It's a nice
I'm
track.
surprised. It's very good.
No, this is
Hopefully
brilliant.
It's on YouTube and I can post it.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and today absolutely elated to be able to talk to not only a fellow Kiwi, but a fellow Kiwi that's an artist that absolutely is kicking it out of the park right now. He's getting so many requests that it's getting ridiculous. It really, really is, and we can't wait to have him come up the North Island, perform for some of us humble people up here in the north, you know, and of course he's going to be at the Blues Festival as well, so we're going to catch up there as well. Ryan Neville, thank you so much for joining us here at Galaxy.
Thank you, Grant. As I said earlier, it's always a pleasure hanging out with you guys and catching up with everybody. And thank you so much for playing my music. As I always say, you guys have helped me out hugely, which has been a lot of help. So much appreciated.
Well, my friend, lots of respect right on back to you. Believe me, we love your work, and we would love it again if you'll come back again in the near future and release new music with us. Will you do that?
Guaranteed to, Grant. Always. Absolutely.
Brilliant. Hang in there, bro. But in the meantime, we'll just change over to the other studio. You're right here at Galaxy. That wraps it up for me for another day. I'll be back again between 5 and 5:30 in the morning. And this time, have a very, very successful day. See you tomorrow.
Galaxy 107 FM.